Hey guys, welcome to Wednesday. It is day 3 in your running for weight loss program. Wednesday, I mentioned that I was going to post some kind of personal development aspect to the program. So I just put in a document called goal setting. It's a goal setting sheet. It didn't print out very well on my printer, but it should print out all right on yours. It's a PDF, so go ahead and download that, and I'm going to have you print it out, especially for this first one, because I want you to physically write down the things that I'm having you go through in your head. There's a really big benefit to physically writing down tasks and goals and ideas and thoughts and all the things. So I am a supporter of journaling and getting things down on paper with an actual pen or pencil. Instead of just typing everything out and depending on our phones. I know we're depending on our phones for this group project or program, but for your individual growth, it's really important, I think, that you take the time and actually put your thoughts down on paper. So one way to do that, I've created this little goal setting sheet. Go ahead and download that and take a look. The thing that at the very top, summit goals. So summit just at the top. That's the big picture goal. That is what you want to climb to. Some of my posts, especially when it comes to training, or if you're like following my Instagram, at the very end, I usually put hashtag see you at the top. And it's ultimately everybody's climbing. Everybody's in their own challenge and everybody's climbing their own mountain to get to their own goals. So, but we're all sharing the same experience of the challenge. So the top of the goal setting sheet is summit goals. So think of your, like you joined this program. One of the goals is to, train for this 5K or 10K or whatever. So that's great. That is awesome to have, some numbers and some specific goals for the physical aspect of it. But because this program is not just running and checking into your workouts, I want to make sure that you have the tools for the other aspects of your life. So take this summit goal, and the instruction is, what is your big picture goal for this program? So other than just hitting a 5K or hitting a 10K comfortably, think way outside the box. How is this going to apply to your life? How is this going to apply to future programs that you do for your weight loss, strength training, whatever physical goal you have, performance goal, sports, there are other aspects to your life than just that fitness goal. So what is your big picture goal for this program? And be as specific as you possibly can. And what do you completely envision? So think of that goal and think of all the details. Like if everything were picture perfect and you were to get to this goal, what would that look like? And write it down. So I'm going to share my personal goals for this program, not relating to the fitness aspect, but for the content and making sure that I'm giving you enough information for each of you. So my summit goal for this program would be to create and share actionable content for the Running for Weight Loss program. So that means weekly and daily tasks that I think are really important for moving forward into a successful habit forming routine and program. Stuff that you can apply to your daily life and future programs. It might not be perfect exactly for this, this round or this 8 weeks, but if you're able to take those concepts and apply them moving forward, then that's great because that is progress. So create and share actionable content for this Running for Weight Loss program. That is my specific goal for this program for you guys. And again, that's weekly and daily tasks. So very specific things for specific days. So that each Wednesday I'll come up with this little video, and then, you can do whatever you want with it, but hopefully you're going to take the time to print it out and write it all out for yourselves. The next line is habits. So what are 3 habits you currently practice that will move you forward towards your summit goal? So what are 3 things you're currently already doing? I'm not, any of my programs, I'm never really flipping anybody's life around and upside down because that's not sustainable. It's exciting, sure, but how likely are you to stick with that? That's my intention, is to figure out what you're currently doing and what's the least amount of resistance, or the path of least resistance, is that right? That we can take, so that way we're not totally shaking your whole routine up. It's just little bits and pieces that we can adjust. One of the habits that I've been currently practicing is scheduling out the program. So what's happening on Monday is I'm going to do a little mini call like this and check in and just give a general overview of how everybody's doing, what's coming up next in the upcoming week, the Wednesday workout. So after today, realizing how long it takes to get service and record the video and then wait for it to download and then have it fail and do all these things. So I just need to be better at scheduling out. Even though I was good at it, I have to change it. Scheduling out the workout so that it's ready for 7 a.m. on Wednesdays for you guys. And then knowing what what mindset theme I'm going to go with every week. And then for Friday, the call or the video will be about you guys. So I'll ask one of you guys, like, what are you up to and how is this program so far? I know it's only the first couple days in, but as we go along, you'll find that, people are going to start sharing their stories down the line. So that's great. The other habit, so one is schedule out each category per day. The second habit that I currently practice is I stick to my nutrition guideline. That's one of the habits that I'm already practicing, and that's going to help me with sharing content and actionable items for you guys, is because I'm already doing what I'm sharing with you. I'm not always perfect, totally not always perfect. Like right now my schedule is so crazy that I don't have like preset meals necessarily, but I make sure that when I go to the grocery store, I'm not buying a crap ton of crap. It's all what's on the nutrition guideline, what I need, and I know what portions at this point to get myself full and not feeling like crap and making sure I have enough energy for my workouts. The third habit that I currently practice is investing time and attention to each person's program. So yeah, I am interested in every single one of you. I'll check in with every single one of you. You have the freedom to tell me if I'm hovering too much, if I need to be a little bit more specific. Like, each individual has their own personal needs, and if it's not voiced, then I don't know what I'm either doing right or wrong, but I know that I definitely want to spend time and attention with each one of you for each program. So there are some things that I can address specifically for you, and there are some things that I would rather you kind of circle around with the group, because more people can benefit from that question or that concern or that problem. One of them was a nutrition question from earlier this week, and I'm hoping to get my friend Ashley on a call or a video for the next couple weeks, hopefully in the next week, to address the nutrition questions that I got earlier this week. Okay, so the next line, there's 5 different lines for this month. Okay, so I like things in threes. So what are 3 specific goals you will accomplish this month that will move you toward the summit goal? The first one I put down, so this is something I can do this month to move me toward my goal. And the first one is tidy up my time block schedule. So I have a general time block of like when I do stuff. I don't have a normal schedule like most of you, a 9 to 5. I have very early clients. I get home late morning. I have this free block of time from like 10 or 11 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. And it's not free at all. It's packed with stuff. But right now in my schedule, it's just one big chunk of like admin / content creating / personal development / reading / make your lunch / so there's a bunch of stuff happening in that one time block. So one thing this month that I need to do is tidy up, like, okay, how much time am I going to dedicate to what thing? So that way that's more specific. The other thing is dedicate specific times to work. Oh, okay. So yeah, dedicate specific times to working out and recording the videos. So the workouts and recording videos has been kind of like a weird schedule throw off bit to my schedule. So like especially this morning I was like dealing with all that stuff this morning. So I need to get better this month at really narrowing down like when all that stuff should happen, so that way you get the workouts that you need on time, and then I'm not scrambling last minute and then posting, sorry I'm late guys, blah 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 blah. So that's the other thing I'm working on this month. The last thing, sleep and routine schedule. So I've been having a lot of trouble with my sleep patterns in the last couple weeks because of all these big projects happening. So I had my, the foam rolling workshop that I was working on and preparing for and getting stuff for. And then I had all this program to set up for. There's a lot of back end things that I needed to make sure were on before this started. So if I, like this month, I really just need to nail down a sleep and routines get like schedule, so that way I can make sure that I'm not like wasting my time or scrambling last minute or staying up super late and then being all messed up the next morning for my goals. Then it breaks down to what you can do this week and what you can do today. So this week, for my specific goal again of creating and sharing actionable content for you guys, this week decide how much time for each project or a category of things to spend per day or per week. Instead of just saying like, okay, I know I have to do this every day, this thing every day, like 1 hour for this kind of thing max, or maybe overestimate and do 2 hours. And then if I have extra time, then I can move on to the next thing and get stuff done earlier, but dedicate a very specific time for each category of to-dos. The next thing on my week, or for this week, that I can really nail down is be strict with nonsense time. So because currently my free time block to get all my other stuff done when I'm not with clients is such a big time block, I'm running into, we have to go into this Facebook group. I'm running into problems with like getting distracted with my other trainer groups, my mentorship group, my mastermind group, like all these different things. They're still important and they're still very valuable, but I'm checking into these other groups when I don't need to. So being strict with my nonsense time, and I say Facebook is nonsense time, but right now I'm using it just for like you guys and then my personal work development stuff. And then deciding on my bedtime and routine schedule. So this week I need to figure out like, okay, what's a good bedtime that's consistent enough based on my schedule and based on when I have to get up the next day. It's just really narrowing down like, okay, if I know I'm going to get to bed by 10, then I need to know what my pre-bedtime routine will be so that I can get to bed on time and make sure my next day is running smoothly. So that's what I'm going to do this week, is just kind of figure out like, okay, what does my week look like and where can I put these to-dos, or where can I change things to be more specific so that way I can run more efficiently. For today, what's going to help me get to that this week and what's going to help me get to that this month, which is going to help me get to my summit goal for this entire program. Today, the first thing I started doing is brain dump all the to-dos that I can think that I have to do in the next 2 months. So like I started a list, brain dump. That's deadlines, events. I have career talks at high schools. I have a race this Sunday that I didn't realize it was almost mid-March already. Everything. The content for this, just, like when am I going to put all that stuff down? So just brained up all the things that fall into the March and April and possibly May bucket, just so that way I'm a little bit more ahead of time. So you kind of like scheduling ahead of time about 3 months in advance. And my schedule is pretty busy, so I don't have a lot of time for social things in certain ways. But I do block that in very specifically, but it's after I know when all the important stuff is, then I can see like, okay, where's my free time, or where can I create free time so that way I'm not going crazy with just work stuff. The second thing that I can do today, after I've started the brain dump, schedule or prioritize and schedule out each of those to-dos. So just narrowing down each of those things that I wrote down and putting them in buckets. What's the most important, like big, public events that I need to really prepare for and really be on point, or what are some little things that aren't quite as urgent, but are still important. So just narrowing it down in that way, or categorizing them, or prioritizing them. And the third thing is make sure my handwriting, make sure those alarms are set. Oh yeah. So I was talking about sleep and just making sure everything is set up. I'm trying to set myself up for success, because the last few weeks I've been feeling like I'm scrambling around, so I'm not really going to get to my goal successfully of creating and sharing actionable content for you guys if I'm not preparing myself for the upcoming day and upcoming week to meet my upcoming month goals and overall summit goal of giving this program what it needs and what you guys want and out of it. So I hope that all makes sense. There are 5 categories on this goal setting task sheet. I highly recommend trying it. Print it out. It's going to print out a lot differently, a lot nicer on your page or from your computer. I don't know. My printer is just weird, so it always chops off the bottom and chops off the top. But write it out physically, so that way you can really brain dump in a better way. It's more effective, I feel, especially if you do everything on computer and do everything on on your iPhone or whatever, or phone. So give it a try this week, and I stand by it. So I hope it works out for you. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, all the documents that I talk about are going to be in the file form in this group page, and then I'll email it out to whoever needs it. Cool. All right. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.